Heyo! Welcome to DE Outdoors, guys. I'm your host, Dalton. Today I wanted to show you guys how I set up an ice fishing rod reel combo. It's actually pretty similar to how I set up a long rod for the open water season, but I'm just going to go through what I do here. There's a few differences. So anyway, also, this will be the rod reel combo that I give away, and I'm going to announce that in this video as well. So I'm going to get it all set up for you, whoever the winner is, and I will get this sent off to you. I'm doing these giveaways every 100 subscribers until I hit 1,000, so I appreciate you guys liking, I appreciate you guys watching, I appreciate you guys subscribing, of course. So continue to do that, and there's going to be more giveaways, and you get to follow me on my outdoor adventures. It's a good time. All right, so the rod I have here is an Abu Garcia Veritas Ice. It's a 20, it's a 29-inch medium. It's a pretty nice little rod. Reel feels pretty good, so I'm going to get this set up for you guys. And then we'll give it away as well. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the tags off. Whoever I give this to doesn't need the tags. So we'll get those off. And then we'll get this guy cut off as well. Again, you guys don't need this. Sweet, it's kind of got a nice design here. I guess you could call this a review too, but it's got a pretty nice design. It looks nice. It feels pretty good. It's kind of got a little cutout for your pinky. I got big hands, so, but it feels nice. Okay, first thing we'll do after we get all that cleared off is we're gonna put some line on it. My preference is that during the winter, during ice fishing season, I like to use a ice fishing braid with a fluoro or mono leader on it. So kind of my go-to. Again, I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything, but I really like the Power Pro Ice Tech, so that's what I'm gonna put on there. This is 8-pound test, and then we'll drop it down to a 6 to 8 pound fluoro or mono leader as well. Anyway, so to do this, pretty simple. Open your bail. I like to open my bail and set it down so that you can kind of get around there. Pull my braid off. I like to go ahead and run it. I don't necessarily run it through all of these just because it's easier to wind. It's easier to reel this on if it's just through a couple, because I'm just doing it by myself here. I don't have like a, I do it the easy way, the cheap way. Okay, and then we're gonna tie this on. I am lazy, so I do it the lazy way. I don't put like backing on or anything. All I do is tie on the braid with a few just regular square knots, I guess you'd call them, just overhand square knots. I'll do 1 or 2 or 3 of those. Make sure it's sitting snug against the spool there. And then trim off a little bit of the excess. Okay, so it's sitting on there loose. You can tell it like moves around because I don't have any backing or anything on it. But because I do it the lazy way, I just do a couple of those knots and then duct tape. Or electrical tape works really good too. But this, a little piece of this will keep it from spinning, and it's also strong enough to hold it and give it some extra strength for that knot. I've never got down to the spool catching a big fish. If you use this in like a jaw jacker or something, it's very possible that a big fish will spool you and get you to the end. But I've never had an issue doing it the lazy way. I cut it pretty thin, basically to match the spool size. And it's all right if it's a little long because I'm going to cover that whole tag end right over my knot. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just sitting right over the knot that I put in there. That's kind of my cheater, easy way out of throwing line onto your spool there. Another reason I really like braid is there's no memory, so you don't have to worry about like spooling this on a specific way. You can spool it right on there. Sweet guys, so we've got the braid spooled on there. It's 50 yards of it, and then what we're gonna do is attach a leader to it. I don't have a preference of brand or anything, as long as it's fluoro or mono. It doesn't even necessarily need to be ice, but what I'm going to put on here is this Trilene micro ice. This is also an 8-pound, but it should be just as thin, just as small as far as the diameter. Normally just keep a pack of this in my ice gear, and if I change baits, you know, so many times to where I'm like pretty much close to my leader, I cut it and I retie a new leader on there. So I just grab, you know, I don't know, like 6 to 8 feet of it. I don't know, 5 feet, 4 foot, whatever you feel like doing. And then I use a double uni knot to connect, and bam, you've got leader on there. So you've got your braid coming into a fluoro or mono leader. Pretty nice. I do the same setup pretty much on an open water rod, right? Except for it might be 20-pound like open water braid leading into, you know, 8 to 10-pound fluoro, or depending on whatever I'm going after, it could be more or less. I really like putting braid on because there's no memory, or close to no memory. And then I really like fluoro because there's less memory, and then you don't have to worry about line just falling off. Anyway, if I'm gonna run something like a little rip and wrap, I always throw, it doesn't necessarily need to be like a quick connect on there, but I'll put like a swivel. What that does is it prevents line twist. So if you use these rip and wrap style, or any like glide bait like this, it tends to spin or glide in kind of one direction, and then your line gets all spun up in one direction. And then say you're jigging, right? Fish comes in, looks at your bait, you can kind of see it on your graph or whatever, and for whatever reason you want to stop it and see what that fish does. When you stop it, say you've been jigging that whole time, and that fish comes in to look at it, and if you stop it for whatever reason, that bait's going to start spinning, right? Because it's unraveling all that twist in your line. And that fish is going to be like, well, that doesn't look natural because it's just spinning. Anyway, so I always put a swivel of some sort on these guys that'll prevent the line from getting all twisted, and it won't spin when you stop it. That's a pretty good idea for spoons too, if you want to. If I'm using something else, if I'm using a smaller bait, like just a little tungsten jig, just go straight to the line. I prefer a polymer knot, even for these little baits. I've caught 4, 5, 6-pound trout on these little dudes, so I don't want my bait snapping. There's your little tungsten jig on this here ice fishing set up. quite the rig. That's how I do it. That's how I set everything up. I appreciate y'all guys watching. I'm gonna go pick a winner. I'll go do just a random comment picker thing on the internet, and I'll come back and I'll tell you who won this, and I'll get with you. I'll pin your comment on the last video, and I'll get with you on getting this pretty slick combo to you. All right, I'm back, guys. I went ahead, did a random picker, and John Derev, I think that's how I say it. I don't know. Appreciate you watching. Here's your comment. You're gonna win this. I'm gonna get this sent to you. I'll try and get in touch with you and make sure we can make arrangements to get this to you. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you commenting. I appreciate everyone who watches my videos. Make sure, if you're seeing this, to like and subscribe and comment and do all that fun stuff. I appreciate it. Anyway, this is going to go to you, John. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on DE Outdoors.